A lot of people watched it, but nobody's watching day to day, all day, unless you're me and just love this stuff. Procedures are okay, but we want to know, where do you stand? And so I think the more that politicians stop trying to be politicians and be people, then that will engage voters. We reject alternative facts, so come on in here and let me educate you on the facts. Hello, everyone. How is everybody doing down here on the YouTube? Welcome to the Q with Q show. It's me, your host, QuentinRJiles. This is our daily political briefing, and I am super excited to be here with you all tonight on this Friday evening. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I just hopped off of a call that was super great. It wasn't even done, but I was like, I gotta come over here. I got to go down to the YouTube to talk to my people. So thank you all so much for being here. I see y'all are already welcoming everyone. We just love the community that we're growing here because y'all are welcoming everybody. Y'all see I got my ugly Christmas sweater on, baby. We had a little contest. I won a contest over there. But anyway, that's about that. But I'm so glad that y'all are, welcoming everyone in the comments. We are family right here. Tammy Thurston's down here. If you don't know, if this is your first time here, Tammy Thurston is our unofficial co-host. Shannon Collins. Now, I didn't say this. She said this, so this her job title. Bootleg benefactor. Okay, she's the bootleg benefactor. Jacob, I think I saw Jacob in here when I was peeking over trying to do both meetings. Jacob is our unofficial little brother. Oh, side note, Shannon Collins' daughter, we loves her. That's Aubrey. Hey, Aubrey. I saw in the comments, Shannon say, you still up now. You know you're supposed to be in bed by 9 o'clock, but since it's Friday, we let it slide today. Okay? But yes, everybody, we are a family here. There's Jacob right there. T-Sipper. Kiki. Has Kiki made it to the chat? I did a one-on-one with Kiki today. That was wonderful. I had a great time. So we're going to get into the show. I did a one-on-one with Kiki and Crystal. I haven't seen Crystal's name pop up down there on the Zoom. They scheduled their one-on-one. So we're going to drop a link. If you would like to do a one-on-one Zoom with me where we just talk anything, we've had a good time. I talked to Tam Thurston, Shannon, Jacob, all these people. And you want to do a one-on-one, the link that I'm dropping right there, you can join the Patreon. That's a way that you can do it. Also, on that link, my goalie gummies way over there. See how I'm not prepared because I was on the other meeting. My goalie gummies is over there. If you'd like to get your goalie gummies, tap that link as well. That link just gives you all the things that I'm doing right there. If you want to support and get you some things and contribute and all of that. Now, we got a few house rules. Crystal Osborne said hers is coming. Crystal, I actually saw your message you sent me and I read it. But then I end up having to do a one-on-one, and then my day just kind of kept going. But I did see your message, Crystal, down there on the Patreon, the article that you sent me. So I will respond back to you after this. I hadn't had a chance to really dive deep into that thing, but I did get your message. So we want to set a few ground rules here on the live, down here on the daily political briefing. We encourage dissent. What does that mean? That means if you don't agree, feel free to say something. Feel free to say something and do that thing. We just don't allow disrespect. We are going to make a space for everyone to say how they feel, whether they agree with the commentary or they disagree or they agree with parts of it, but don't agree with this over there. We don't have no problems with those things. I encourage that. But what we don't do is disrespect. So when we get to name calling, and we don't do violence, when we get the name calling, when we get the threatening violence, all that, those are things that'll get you blocked and with the quickness. Very, very quick. Very, very quick. Hold on. Wait. Sorry for your loss. What happened? Just stopping in. Oh, I'm sorry, Keon. I see your comment. She says, hello, everyone. Just stopping in Miami from my cousin's funeral. Sorry to hear that, sis. We sorry to hear that. Definitely. Oh, bless her. Saying a quick prayer for you internally. Sorry to hear that. So if you are going to participate in the comments, like I said, we do not allow disrespect. That'll get you bliggity blocked with a quickness. Real block, baby. Everybody is on it. They will let me know, flag you real quick, and we'll get you on up out of here. Now, before we get into it as well, since we dine here on the YouTube, there's a thing called Super Chat and Super Comments. That is a way for your comment to be featured on the screen. We'll pull it up and we'll talk about it. We'll discuss it. Also, your contribution pours into me. It is a bit of a cost, but the beautiful thing is you get to decide how much you want to spend. There's no limit. We definitely encourage you to do the super comments and the super chats because those things help me continue to do what I do. And then also, we spend some time with what it is that you would like to talk about. Now, let's get into the news. Yesterday, I want to follow up on a bit of a story that we talked about yesterday that I kind of stopped the show. And y'all see I'm sitting in a different space today. We stopped the show midway through because I had to Google. Maybe I had to hop on the Googler because I said, now, wait a minute, what was happening? Now, just to refresh everybody's memory, we were talking about Jeff Bezos and him being super rich and him taking advantage or using tax law to his advantage. And you see all these people struggling and him making millions and trillions of dollars while people are struggling. I argue that all of my energy is not going to be focused so much on Jeff Bezos taking advantage of a system that's already there, but really my energy, excuse me, my energy is focused on the people that can do something about it. And those are our legislatures. Okay. That's congressmen and senators who write the tax law that allow people like Jeff Bezos to continue to get insanely rich and pay no taxes. So instead of attacking him, I'm going to attack, well, not attack, but instead of attacking him, I'm going to direct that energy and go towards the people that can actually change that instead of just yelling at him from afar. Now, in that, somebody said, well, Jeff Bezos was building a homeless shelter on Amazon, like the headquarters of Amazon for his employees. Now, I said, now, wait a minute. Now, wait 1 second. Now, the reason that stuck out to me is because we've heard about Amazon employees working 2 or 3 jobs, some living in their cars and all this other stuff. So I was like, hold on, before I jump down his throat, let me read this. Let me make sure. So I didn't get a chance to read the full articles during the show yesterday, but I did get a chance to go back, kind of look around and see what that was actually about. So let's give the story so we're all on one accord. Yes, there is a homeless shelter being built in Seattle next to the Amazon corporate building. But no, it's not for their employees. So when we've heard about these Amazon employees that are working 2 or 3 jobs, those are the Amazon delivery people. What's happening in Seattle is those are corporate tech people. And those corporate tech people making corporate tech salaries are buying corporate tech luxury housing, which is driving the cost of housing up in Seattle, which is contributing to a housing crisis in the area. So they are building this homeless shelter, but it's not for their employees because those people make enough money that's at their corporate office. It's for the people in the area that either are homeless or become homeless. Now, we could definitely spend some time and talk about people moving in and driving up the cost of housing and what that looks like. We could totally take some time, but I just want to come from the space of where we were talking about yesterday, because the comment said that he was building it for his employees. Now, are Amazon employees that are not in tech, that are doing the delivery service and working in the warehouse, are they struggling? Absolutely. And that's a whole separate conversation about what is a fair and equitable wage. Me personally, I don't just believe that, minimum wage should be $15 an hour. Well, that may not work in all spaces. $15 an hour may work here in Texas where I am. $15 an hour probably is still not going to cut it in New York. So I think that the minimum wage needs to be equitable to whatever the cost of living is in that state. So that's my thoughts, but I definitely wanted to, come back around to that story to say that's what's happening. Now, if you still have an issue with it because you got the info now. But let's get all the facts first, then we make a decision. That's all I'm asking. Let's get some facts, then we make a decision. Okay, so I'm glad we cleared that up out the way. Shout out to Christy Bryan. You just joined the Patreon. I just got a notification. Shout out to you, Christy Bryan. Thank you so much, sis. We'll see you down there on the Patreon. We have a good time. Have a good time on the Patreon. I think I'm going to do a live tomorrow. I'm going to do a live from Patreon tomorrow. My friend if some of y'all have been following me for a while, this is a sidebar. You know, when Biden was finally announced president-elect, I had to run out of a funeral. One of my friends' dad had passed. So she's having a socially distant type of something just because, you know, their dad passed, 6 weeks ago, and people have been separated. So I think she's trying to create an environment of feel goodness. So we'll be socially distant. She says she'll make sure that it's safe and strategically placed and all this other stuff. And so I'm going to do a live on the Patreon. I'm going to take the Patreon people with me because it won't be all doom and gloom. And if y'all meet her, she is a ball of energy. So I'm sure she wouldn't mind. So I'll probably do a live on the way down there and then do a little live while I'm in there, but that'll be strictly for the Patreon, the behind the scenes people. The Patreon give you the behind the scenes. So definitely see y'all tomorrow. Now, news that happened today. The FDA has approved the second COVID-19 vaccine. So what we talked about yesterday was that the FDA advisory panel said, you know, we recommend this vaccine. We're giving the green light. Now, interestingly enough, it was a unanimous decision from the advisory board. If you remember the Pfizer vaccine, it was like, if my memory serves me correct, it was like 14 yays, I think 3 to 4 nays, and 1 abstained. Even though those nays weren't saying like they were saying no to because they wanted more info, not saying that the info that they had didn't prove to be, I guess, safe enough to push out to the public. So just put it into perspective. Well, with this Moderna vaccine, there was 14, like everybody agreed. I believe all 20 of them agreed on the Moderna vaccine. Now that's the advisory board. And remember, the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine is 1 shot or 1 injection, and it doesn't need to be stored in those sub freezing temperatures that the Pfizer vaccine. Remember, Pfizer is 2 injections, 1, and then you come back kind of like a booster, if you will, but it has to be stored at these sub freezing temperatures. The one that got approved today, again, 1 shot, 1 injection, and basically it can. I don't want to say it can travel like a normal vaccine because I'm not a doctor, but it's from what I'm gathering, it's not going to be as difficult to distribute because whatever it requires, they said rural hospitals will have. And so if you know anything about rural hospitals, or let me not say if you know anything about rural hospitals, let me just tell you, rural hospitals are basically, that's poor people, poor hospitals. So if the poor hospitals have the equipment to receive the Moderna vaccine and it'll be fine, that means everybody that's above poor will be fine. So I think that's the best way I can just explain that thing right there. Now, so the advisory board did that. Okay, now the FDA has gone ahead and approved it. And remember what I said yesterday, I was like, well, they approved it. If passed is a showcase of what's to come. Remember, Trump pushed the FDA to approve the Pfizer one, and they end up doing it Friday night. Well, here we are Friday night, and the FDA has approved the Moderna vaccine. I just saw that coming because, you know, the chess moves, if you will, with this administration are just so predictable. I'm not a soothsayer or nothing like that. I'm just looking at what they give me, making a calculated decision, and then moving forward. That's it. That's all. So that's that. In other vaccine news as well, Pfizer, which is the one that vaccine is already being distributed. There were some reports or there was some talk about Pfizer either not producing enough vaccine or not getting it out. Well, baby, Pfizer said, no, ma'am, Pam. Pfizer has pushed back and said, actually, we got vaccine here. We got vaccine. We're not getting guidance from the administration on how to get it out to people. So it's like, okay, so we have a whole nother failure again. Y'all can't do nothing right. Y'all can't do nothing right. So Pfizer is like, no. And clearly Pfizer is not playing because Pfizer, remember, they booked the administration way back when too, because Pfizer was like, baby, we're not a part of Operation Warp Speed. No, man, Pam. Our vaccine ain't associated with Trump. We does this. We scientists over here. Not to say that other people are not scientists, but we does this thing over here. So Pfizer is pushing back today. That's news that we found out today, pushing back and saying we actually have the vaccine, but we are not getting guidance on how to get it to the states. And so we saw also states saying, hey, we're not getting vaccine. Well, that's probably because there is no national strategy, just like there has not been a national strategy from the beginning to, Well, that's not even true now. Just how we thought there was no national strategy, because in this week we learned from Jim Clyburn committee that they just wanted they just wanted coronavirus to run rampant and for everybody to get it. That was the national strategy. They just weren't telling us that, but we found out since in the emails. But that's what you have when you don't have leadership from the top willing to lead. There was also another report that looked at Trump's Twitter feed since the election and the hundreds of times he's tweeted, and not one of those tweets had anything to do with the 300,000 plus Americans that have died or been killed by this virus. So take that for what it is you want to take that for. But as far as Pfizer, as far as vaccines, we're also seeing prominent people get their vaccine shot. We saw Mike Pence do it today. We seeing Nancy Pelosi. We're seeing Mitch McConnell. Now, I would beg, or I would argue, I don't know what your politics are, but I would just think, based on the type of content and analysis and commentary that I provide, most of y'all are probably not Republicans, or at least not hardcore Republicans. I do have some Republican support, so shout out to the people that still watch. They don't like to say nothing in the comments because they feel like they're gonna get attacked, so typically they send me stuff in the DMs, and we sometimes, we have a little discourse or whatever like that. They feel safer there. That's fine. I don't have no problem with that. But I would just bet that most people either are a Democrat or they're an independent or they're unaffiliated, but they are supporting the Democratic Party. So my question, which I would love for everyone to put in the comments right now, is I posed this question earlier about Mike Pence. Did you feel more comfortable with Mike Pence? I got a resounding no on Instagram and Twitter. They was like, we don't care if Pence took it. No. Seeing Nancy Pelosi take it, I'm just wondering, just seeing, does that give you all confidence? Or seeing her take it, does it say to you, maybe? Does it change your ideas, towards the virus? Okay, now what happened to Deidre? Hold on, what happened to Deidre? My mom, hold on, let me scroll back up and moved away. My mom and uncle was a part of that 300,000 plus that died with COVID, and I am mad when he said that in the emails. Deidre, excuse, I'm gonna say Miss Kemp, because I may be mispronouncing your first name wrong, so please forgive me for that. I am so sorry to hear that. That is a terrible, tragic loss that didn't have to happen. I can imagine the anger and the hurt, seeing watching them on the front face, because we already, knew they weren't doing anything, but then actually seeing that thing in print, I can imagine part of what you may be feeling. I don't assume to know what you felt losing your family members, but I feel like I can imagine what that feels like to see it in print, that this was policy. And so I am sorry about that. I'm definitely gonna pray for you, and that God covers your heart and that he leads you in the way he wants you to go, and that he gives you rest and peace. But I come into fellowship with you with that, and say you are not alone. We're mad. I have not had anyone die, but I'm mad with you because it's ridiculous. It makes absolutely no sense that was the policy, that you would be willing to allow things like this to happen, when we could have done something, when we didn't have to politicize masks, when we knew masks would work, when we didn't have to politicize shutdowns, or that when we didn't do it in a smart way, or not encouraging people to liberate themselves and break the system, or whatever the case. So I get you, sis. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm terribly sorry to hear that, but I get you, sis. Man. So man, that just threw me. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Yeah. So I say that to say, Pfizer is bucking back and saying, we have vaccine, and this is potentially a life-saving vaccine. And so I think that, I don't know, people just wear your mask, because we're not going to get competent leadership until leadership changes. That's just what it is. Rhonda Taylor, thank you so much. Shout out for the super comment. Let's read this and unpack for a minute. I read today that the Moderna shot, I think that's supposed to be Moderna shot was 2 shots as well. The second one being 4 weeks later. No, the Moderna shot is 1 shot. I hadn't seen an update on that. I got questions in the building? Because that's our nurse that said she would come back. Excuse me. Let me see here. Let me just Google real quick to see if anything has updated. Moderna vaccine, COVID-19, 1 shot. Yeah. No, I hadn't seen any update on that, but it's 1 shot. It's 1 injection. Let's say 1 injection. Julissa Bradshaw said, I'm still waiting on Fauci. Well, the thing with Fauci, Fauci is saying they should take it. I just hadn't seen Fauci take it. Okay, Shawnee Watson says, no, man, Pam, it doesn't change my mind on Nancy Pelosi. No, not entirely. Maybe with Nancy, says T Sipper. I think BLK Black Pan 77 says, I still don't trust it. Let's see. Absolutely not for Pence. Well, let's see. Okay. No, Tabitha Flower says no, but we do need my diverse people to take the vaccine to truly see its efficacy. Correct. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Jasmine Bryan says, at some point I will get it. Still figuring out if one vaccine is better than the other. When the time comes, I'll ask my primary all the questions I have. My mom is also at risk. Right. So, yeah, I am on that side. It's not something that I plan on doing right now. I want more data to roll out. I'm totally fine with continuing to wear my mask. I'm totally fine with continuing to do safety precautions and social distancing and not mass gathering. I'm totally willing to make that sacrifice because it's still out there. For me, personally, I just need more. I'm still not comfortable. I'm not on it. I was saying this earlier today on one of the one-on-one Zooms. I'm like, okay, I understand that we definitely put a lot of infrastructure behind this. We put a lot of money behind this, but also I've been on this earth for 31 years and I've seen how rigorous vaccines have gone through, years of trials and testing and all of this. And what you're asking me to do is throw all of that out of the way and say like, hey, we did this, trust it, take it based on this data, but this data is based on, 10 months or so. Now, I did see another doctor who is steeped in public health saying that because it's a COVID virus, that technically this vaccine has been worked on for 17 years. I'll explain a little bit. There are different strands of COVID. This is COVID-19. And so there are other vaccines or other medications that help with these other strands. And so since this one is almost like a derivative of those, they do have some understanding of how the virus works and what, like, I guess on the biological spectrum or the molecular spectrum, they do have an understanding of the virus, and with the vaccine can pull some of that other data here. So when he said that, I said, okay, that definitely sounds logical, right? I'm not disputing that. That sounds pretty straightforward and logical. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm still, for me and my body, I'm just wait. Like I'm gonna just pause for 1 second and go from there. Christy Bryant, thank you so much for the super comment. Is there any truth to the rumor that they are discussing a $1,500 stimulus check, but only if you get the vaccine? Okay, so no, but that was a suggestion and not at 1,500. So there was a suggestion from one of the governors. Man, I can't think of his name right now. His name escapes me. From one of the governors saying, tie the next stimulus check to getting the vaccine. And so it was talked about for like a week or so. He said 1,200. It wasn't 15, but then it quickly died out. What they're talking about right now with this coronavirus bill or relief bill is actually $600, and it has nothing to do with whether you get the vaccine or not. Mind you, they haven't even passed that. They just passed they just passed a 2-day spending bill because basically the government will run out of money again, which means we will go into a shutdown. It would have gone into a shutdown today. but they're still negotiating over COVID relief. So they passed a 2-day spending deal. So now they basically kicked the can to Sunday. So the government will be out of money Sunday if Congress doesn't fund it. So let's unpack that a little bit. It's not that the government, we don't have money, but since Congress has the power of the purse per the Constitution, they decide where money goes, right? That's why there's lawsuits over Trump and the border wall, because he's taking money and putting it somewhere. But the power of the purse lies with Congress. They have decided to come together and give money to the government for the next 2 days while they try to work on this COVID relief bill. It's insane, but I guess they can do what they want to do. Jasmine Bryan, thank you so much for the super comment. You say, I feel more comfortable when Tony Fauci sits in a chair on television and gets the vaccine. Well, maybe we need to tell Tony to get on that, because Tony been doing all these news stations. I know he on Don Lemon tonight, and I know he was there. I think he was in the crowd or watched Mike Pence get it. He's come out and said, Trump needs to go ahead and get it. But maybe we need to tell Dr. Tony Fauci, well, you need to go ahead and hop in line too, because people waiting on you. People want to see you get the vaccine. Y'all pulling everybody else out. Tony, why don't you do it? So that's a good point. Interestingly, that leads me into my next part. The Kaiser Family Foundation actually did a study and found that 1/3 of Black Americans are very hesitant about the vaccine. I wish they would really broaden that out, but I know why they, specifically looked at Black Americans, because of the mistrust that Black Americans have with the medical system at large. And 1/3, they say 1/3. I'm like, baby, who all did you ask? Because it's probably more than that. But 1/3 of Black Americans are hesitant with the vaccine. I'm gonna put a pause on it, and I'm gonna bring Deandra's comment up real quick. Thank you so much for the super comment. Thank you for the clarification on. Thank you for the clarification on. But watching everyone else is confusing on who to believe. What do you mean? What do you believe? Oh, somebody said John Delaney said it. Okay. Thank you for the clip, but watching everyone else is confusing on who to believe. What does that mean, Miss Kemp? What does that mean? And if she responds, y'all, and I miss it, could y'all let me know so I can come back to the comments to pull that up, because I want to unpack what she means by that. So they said that 1/3 of African Americans are hesitant. I would love to know what the Hispanic population is like, what the white Americans are looking like, the indigenous peoples. I would love to see that data as well. And I would dare say, okay, on the vaccine, that's why I say, y'all, like, find trusted sources, trusted medical sources, right? Trusted medical sources. I'm talking right now, but I'm talking from a pure, this is my personhood, and I don't know that I'm going to do it, right? I trust Dr. Tony Fauci. I don't think Fauci lying. I can trust him. I heard him, and I'm still making a decision right now. So I think you just need to find trusted medical sources. Ask questions, like somebody said earlier. I'm sorry, your name is escaping me right now. Talk to your doctor. If you have the insurance and have a PCP or a doctor, talk to your doctor about it and make the best decision for you. Somebody said Hispanics about the same data, very close in numbers in terms of distrust. Right. Yeah. And Dr. Fauci is live on CNN right now doing a virtual Q&A about the vaccine. Okay. So Dr. Fauci's on TV right now. I don't mind, like, definitely, Miss Kemp, turn on CNN right now. This will be back on replay. So you can always come back and rewatch the live. But if he's doing a Q&A on CNN right now, baby, get them questions answered. I would go watch CNN and go watch Dr. Tony Fauci, because Dr. Tony Fauci, he got the data. That's the doctor. So find trusted medical professionals in that space. So I just think it's interesting. I feel like I'm saying a lot. I just think it's interesting that 1/3 or people are still mistrusting it. I think it's interesting because the strategy, I don't think, is all that effective of like, just take it. We're taking it. It's safe. One of the one-on-ones I did, that one of the Patreon members I did with a one-on-one, he was a cardiologist, and I so appreciated, I said this before the other day, I so appreciated the fact that he told me he was still scared to take it. But he did it because he looked at the data, and as of right now, the data shows that it was safe, but he still has a lot of questions. He still had some reservations, but that he himself was scared to take it. And he said that other health professionals, kind of felt the same way. To me, that was so much more authentic and trustworthy than the data safe. Take it. No, the data safe. We got to get everybody vaccinated. Even though I'm still in my same space, but I am so much more willing to engage and have a conversation with him because he gave me not only the data, but he gave me his human response, being a physician himself. So that was encouraging. I think that probably needs to be the strategy, the very front-facing strategy, saying that I too had real concerns. I'm a physician. I'm a doctor. I'm a healthcare professional. I work in public health. I too had real concerns, but I looked at the data, and based on what we have right now, and based on how this virus is ravaging the communities and packing the hospitals, I'm making a calculated risk, and everything we do is a calculated risk. When we get in that car to drive, that is a calculated risk, and I'm making a calculated risk to take this vaccine, and I think that you should too. I would be much more receptive to that. Still gonna make my own decision on the back end, but I would be much more receptive to having that dialogue, having that person speak or people like him speak, than every 5 minutes I look up on the screen and it's a doctor or a healthcare professional saying, no, we need to take it. Take it because it's safe. We need to take it. Take it because it's safe. No, ma'am, Pam, that's not enough for me. that ain't enough for me. That's not going to be enough. Yes, this needs to be a grassroots movement. Speak to people in their own language, etc. Period. I mean, this is not a super comment, but I'm gonna pull it up. Period. That's it. That's it right there. Period. So, yeah, that's how I feel. Okay, let me move on to the next story. So, and we gonna end soon, y'all. We gonna end soon. I'm learning. I have to let y'all know we're gonna end a little soon. But the next story is let's talk more about the Russians hacking us and Trump not doing anything about it. Like, we need to spend a little more time unpacking that. We need to spend a little bit more time talking about it. Here's the thing, right? In 2016, remember the infamous "Russia, if you're listening" statement by Donald Trump. And that moment, it was about Hillary Clinton's emails. Russia, if you're listening. Well, we know they're listening now. We know they're in the system. They're listening, but not just to Hillary Clinton or looking for Hillary Clinton's emails. They are literally listening. And you have still yet to say nothing. Republicans in the Senate, nothing. But y'all are outraged that Joe Biden's deputy chief of staff cursed and called y'all a curse word. Was it wrong? Yes. But you have no energy for all the curse words and the derogatory things that Trump said. And even more so, y'all sitting here talking about cuss words this week, but you're not talking about Russia hacking and in our systems. Stop telling me you love America, because you don't. You do not. You love the power that you get from America. Because if you loved America, you would really be nooking and bucking on Russia. Period. Like, you letting us get checked left and right. Like, you're letting them bully us on the world. Like, everybody knows. If we're talking about it, everybody knows. So we just getting bullied on the world stage. You don't think that's going to invite other attacks? You don't think other countries that would like to see America torn down want to, like, oh, y'all are weak, let me roll up on you too? Even allies, like, keep in mind, we may have allies, but we're still our own countries, right? And if America is supposed to be a superpower, do we not think that there are other countries that want to be in America's spot, in that prized possession spot as a superpower? We were the leading authority in democracy. I don't know what we are now, but you letting us getting punked. But y'all sitting here thank you so much, Miss Jackson, for the super sticker. But y'all sitting here running around here talking about cuss words. Yeah, she was wrong for it, but put that thing in context. Put that thing in. You giving way too much energy to some cuss words and then gave no energy to Russians in our nuclear weapons information, in our State Department information. That's spies. That's diplomacy. In the USPS, that's mail. In the Pentagon, that's military. You ain't got no smoke, but you want to sit here and hoop and holler about how we need more spending in the military. Like you appear to be very fraudulent. Very, very fraudulent. So please stop telling me that you love America. You do not love America. And I'm going to keep saying it. You love the power that you get through America. My girl, Shannon Collins, baby, is Aubrey still up? Aubrey must have told you to send that super sticker. I mean, this super comment. Shout out to y'all. Thank you so much. Federal agencies are radio silent as well. Employees in the total dark about their info being compromised. That's so true. You know, I talked to someone. Thank you for bringing it up. I talked to somebody, who works in the government of one of these hacked agencies, and they've received no guidance, no nothing, no email, no, at least, y'all remember when Equifax got breached? Everybody and their mama got an email. Everybody and their mama got an email to say, hey, we got breached. I bad. Let us give you a little credit monitoring, something. This is the steps we're taking. We figured out where it is that people in the government that work in the government, no guidance, no nothing. Just hacked. Just hacked. Thank you so much, Tenacious831X for the super sticker. Just hacked. And they've said nothing about it. It's literally absolutely insane. And so it's interesting because we're in a lame duck session, meaning, the president is on his way out. It's a lame duck Congress. A new Congress is coming up. We're in a lame duck session, and y'all got us out here like sitting ducks. That's what y'all do. Y'all got us out here like sitting ducks, not bucking back at all. Biden, can you hurry up? Can January 20th get here? Can it get here? Because I'm gonna need some action. I'm going to need some action. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, I'm going to just keep it at that. You don't love America. You love the power you get from her. So that's just it. And on period, Georgians, if you're listening, we need y'all to go ahead and vote. We need y'all to do that thing. Okay. Please do that thing. Because we need to go ahead and get that tie in the house so Kamala can come in there and hiya, that thing as the president of the Senate. So Georgia, definitely please vote. We're seeing great numbers, but let that not slow you down. Let that not make you comfortable. Like other people are voting. Nope. If you ain't vote, go vote. If your grandma and them ain't vote, go vote. If your auntie ain't vote, take her to vote. Your daddy, your paw, your beemaw, whatever your Theo, whatever you call your people, go vote. Go vote. Because right now, headline, Republicans suing to limit early voting in Georgia runoff. Why? Why are you making it so difficult to vote? Why would you intentionally sue to limit early voting in Georgia? So that people can go, again, you don't love America because democracy is on the foundation of America. The vote is on the foundation of America. So you don't love America. You love power. So I need Georgia to stand up and I rise up. Rise like the wind, I rise up, rise unafraid, I rise up. And Georgia's gonna do it 1,000 times again. Oh, wait a minute. Let me not embarrass myself. Let me stop singing on Mariah Carey internet on Christmas time. So Georgia, we need y'all to go ahead and do that thing. We need y'all to get up and rise up, and we need you all to vote. So guys, those are all of my stories, all of my segments for the day. What I'm going to do is, since y'all wanted an hour, I'm going to extend it out 15 more minutes. Since it's Friday, I'm extending it out 15 more minutes. And what I'm going to do is open call. So y'all drop comments right now, anything you want to talk about. Even if you even if it's not a super comment, I'm gonna bring some, whatever I choose, I'm gonna bring some up on stage. I mean, if you do give a super comment and super sticker, I'm gonna still bring them up on stage too. But I'm gonna just randomly bring some stuff up on stage for us to talk about. If I've done the research into it, then we'll talk about it. Here's one. That's why I said the research. Let's just do this for 15 minutes and banter. Can we talk about the shell account? So I saw that. I had not had time to look into it because I've been moving. I had another meeting prior to this. It was really, really great. Then hopped on here. I did see the breaking news, but I hadn't had a chance to look into it. The shell accounts, what they're talking about, or what she's talking about, is we found out that Jared Kushner has set up some shell accounts. Y'all know Donald Trump is raising all his money, has set up some shell accounts to move millions of dollars. So once I do a little bit more research and digging into that, I'll come back and talk about that. So thank you so much for that. But if y'all want to Google and read up on the articles, you can, because those dropped earlier today. Let's see here. Crystal Osborne. Go check the article afterwards and let me know what you think. I was confused. Oh, you're talking about the article that you sent me on the Patreon. I will. Yeah, I'm gonna read it, and then I'll respond to you in the comments. I will do that. Yes, the Jared Kushner thing, money laundering. Yeah, we'll all that. Yes, this is more on par. That's what I saw in the headlines. Trump and his $610 million. All those things. Tabitha Flowers. This pandemic has showed when people have access to vote, they will. I don't know how many poetry snaps I'm going to do, but poetry snaps. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see here. I'm about to be Uber for GA so they can vote. Come on, pick them up and go. Put your mask on when you get in my car. Put your mask on when you get in my car. So yes, absolutely. More about it. Shannon Collins. This is the Jared Kushner story. Jared Kushner setting up a shell company to filter money for the Trump family. Absolutely. Whose birthday shout out? Is it your birthday? Adriana? Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. That's the Black people version. Here's a good one. Who do you think will take the U.S. Attorney General position? That's good. So there's been talk about Sally Yates. I wouldn't mind Sally Yates, right? She was there as the deputy. She was there as the deputy attorney general. When Trump came in, she turned into the acting attorney general. So she's very familiar with that counterintelligence investigation with Russia and all that other stuff. And I think that she would go for it. So I hear there's some talk about her. I hear there's some talk about, what's my man's name in Alabama? Oh man, I gotta eat. What is my man's name? Democrat that won against Roy Moore. Doug Jones. There's some talk about Doug Jones because he has some civil rights history and taking on the KKK and the church bombing of those 4 girls and prosecuting them. So there's some talk about him. There's some talk about Merrick Garland. Those are the 3 that we're talking about right now. I don't have an issue with any of those. So I don't really know who should be. I just want someone who is going to go after the corruption. And if that means prosecuting a previous president, by all means. I heard what Joe Biden said, but if he wants to be truly independent, he needs to close his mouth. If he truly wants the Justice Department to be independent, as it has been, he needs to close his mouth. A president shouldn't interfere like Trump has to shake stuff up and get his friends off, nor should a president interfere to say don't prosecute somebody because of whatever the reason. If you want it to be independent, then you need to go over there. And whoever the attorney general is, you need to prosecute the corruption, and period. Unofficial little brother, Jacob Q, have you seen the Space Force Guardians misalign priorities? No, what is Space Force? Space Force Guardians. No, I have not seen that. I don't know what that is. I got to Google that. Let's see here. Man, a bunch of comments popped up and it all boomed down. Did I pull this up already? I pulled that one. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. No, I didn't pull this one up. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. Happy birthday. Yes, happy birthday. Man, this thing. Okay, you should set up a phone line for people to call in at the end of the shows to discuss as well. Oh, how do I do that? Is that a thing? How do I? Oh, that might be fun. I might have to do that. That might be fun. Let y'all call in and talk. We might have some shit. When you get on my show, dissent, not disrespect, and please don't come up here cussing because I'm gonna have to hang up on you. Now no, we don't do that. We don't do that. Let's see here. Tabitha Flowers. It would be very interested. I will be very interested to see how voting will work in the years to come because mail-in ballots brought more numbers. Yeah, they're definitely going to try to stop the mail-in. I mean, they're going to try to stop everything. When they saw how people actually participated, they're definitely going to try to limit it. Voting should be a holiday from T Sipper. Should be a holiday so everyone can have a chance to be heard. Absolutely. Absolutely. Although Garland would be in a in your face move. I'm sure Garland probably wanted to be a Supreme Court justice. So, it would be, but yeah. Let's see, you made it with an hour without the goalies. Right. The goalies is over there. They sitting on my counter. I see them. The goalies is over there. I might have to snack on some when I get up off of here. But yes. Okay, more comments, people, more comments. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Okay, Mike Pence just announced that for a member of the Space Force to be called Guardians. Mike Pence need to go away. Mike Pence need to go away. I don't want to hear nothing Mike Pence got to say. So I don't like Mike Pence. I don't. He don't do nothing but parrot everything that Donald Trump say. You don't have a mouth. You don't have no mind on your own. So I don't fool with no Mike Pence like that. What do you think about the $600 payment in the stimulus package? People are about to lose their housing and all they get is $600. I hope with this 2-day extension, they come up with more. Unfortunately, sis, I think the $600 is going to be where it's at. I don't think they're going to come up with more because all of a sudden Republicans have gotten physically conservative, which is just another word for saying they don't want to spend money. Which they used to be that party, but now they've blown through that in the time of Trump. Tax cuts for the super rich, deficit up the wazoo, and now all of a sudden when he's gone, now they want to be concerned with the budget. I don't care. Blow through it, Biden. We'll figure it out on the back end. Balance the budget on raising taxes on the ultra rich. I mean, there is an actual real solution, So what do I think about it? I think it's abysmal. I think that some help should have been out to people way before this. I saw my first in live and in color food line the other week. I hadn't seen that before in person. I only seen it on TV. It definitely brought tears to my eyes. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. These are the same people that say pull yourself up by a bootstrap, and when don't nobody have a boot nor a strap, you won't even give us piece of a lace. So it's ridiculous. That's what I think. But Joe Biden is saying, they need to do this as a down payment. Keep in mind, it's words until it's a thing. So, yeah, I hear him saying it feels good, it sounds good, but to me, it's words until it's an actual thing. Let's see here. Somebody said, I just missed the comment. I'll gladly be the forensic accountant for the government. Right. Look at all that. Tabitha Flowers. At Jessica, it's sad because Canadians have been getting $2,000 a month since this started. Absolutely. Yeah. Do the goalies give you energy? How many do you take in a day? I ordered some off of your link. So that is one of the things. Keep in mind, I also didn't drink my electrolyte water, that I mixed because I was sitting right here from my previous meeting. So I didn't do everything that I normally do before I come and do the live with y'all. So it is supposed to give you a little bit of energy. It's not like a hyped up caffeine or anything like that. So I don't want to missell it, but per the promo or per the flyer or the marketing info they send, it does have some energy type effects. Let's see. Oh, baby, Malcolm Nance don't play down there on the MSNBC. I know Malcolm Nance. He is upset. Malcolm Nance do not play. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. What do you think about Republican going after Dr. Jill Biden and being called doctor? That they literally have nothing else to do. Russia is hacking us, and you are trying. One, you're being sexist. because you haven't gone after any other male PhD, but you're trying to find something. This is not even a thing to attack someone on. PhDs are doctors. Like, they've been that. So like them saying it is so ridiculous. Russia is hacking us, and you are talking about someone's credentials. That's a real credential. That's the thing. It's like a real credential. But you're attacking her. You're finding in it. That's all y'all do. You ain't attack no man for his PhD credentials. You're attacking her because she's the president-elect's wife. She's not misrepresenting herself as a medical doctor. So it was a way to try to bring her down a peg. For you to even say, oh, but if you need a medical doctor, why? First off, why are we even talking about it? Why are you trying to compare the two things? It was an attempt to try to bring her down. It's a sexist, stupid tactic. That's what that was. That was just, I didn't even, when I saw it, I didn't even read up on it because I was just like, why is this a thing? Like, why? Like, y'all have nothing else to. Russia is attacking us right now, and you talking about PhDs versus MDs when nobody is misrepresenting themselves. Like, get out of my face. I'm not paying you no attention. Is our state, Texas, still threatening to secession? We threaten that every couple of years, so that ain't got. I ain't worried about that. That happens every couple of years here in Texas, so that's not a new thing. So don't worry about it, child. Somebody always get riled up and say we need to succeed and go where? And go where exactly? If Texas succeeds, then where we going? What we gonna do? What we gonna do? Keep in mind, Texas doesn't. Well, if you here in Texas, we don't have a state tax. I bet we get one if we succeed. I bet we have to get one because then we're saying we're going to be our own country. How are you going to support yourself? You would have to tax people in Texas. And you would have to tax them heavily for things to run. Texas ain't going nowhere, child. They ain't going nowhere. And the GOP ain't going to let it because all them electoral college votes, it ain't going nowhere. Get out of my face. Sit down. The standard intake of goalies is 2 to 3 days. Q takes a few. I feel like, listen, I feel like they didn't take my body into consideration. I'm 6 foot, 230 something pounds and broad. So them 2 to 3 on the bottle, I don't feel like that's meant for me. I feel like they was talking to a European man, a European woman, not to me. So, I take a few more. I go ahead and pops a few more of them things. Letitia James said it goes down January 20th at noon. Paraphrasing. However, her control is from a civil manner. Yes. The thing she's doing right now is civil court cases, and we will see what happens if those civil court cases turn into criminal cases. So we'll just see. Down there with Tish. Yes, she earned her doctorate. Sit down and respect her title. But and it's not even like she was trying to force it. You see some people who's like, oh, I'm a doctor. I'm gonna do some of that. She ain't even doing that. Like, sis got a doctorate because sis wanted to get a doctorate. But she's not even, at least from what I've seen, using it like in an egotistical way. So like, why is this even a thing? Like, get out of my face. Do something about Russia. You got more energy for somebody calling you a cuss word and somebody who literally earned their degree than you do Russia. Get out of my face. Out of my face. Immediately. Okay, guys. Okay. So this has been fun, guys. I absolutely have enjoyed this. Thank you all so much for another week. Thank you all so much for supporting me and being here with me. We will be back on Monday at 8:30 p.m. I don't have a meeting Monday, so I'll be back at 8:30 p.m. That's our normal time, 8:30. So I will be back. Yeah, we'll be back Monday. We'll see what happens over the weekend. We'll see what news stories break from then. Definitely let me drop this link one more time if you all would like to support in any of these endeavors. That link will take you to the goalie. It'll take you to the production expansion. Definitely subscribe and cut on your post notification here to the YouTube. We did an hour. Y'all said y'all wanted an hour. We did an hour. So we did an hour. I don't know if we're going to do an hour on Monday. Okay. I don't know if we're going to do an hour on Monday. We did an hour today because it's Friday. We took comments because it's Friday. So, happy Friday. So y'all have a great and blessed night. We will be back next week. Next week is Christmas. I'm still going to be doing the show. So We may do like a little Christmas special. If you want to hop on that night, or if you're going to be with your families and things of that nature, then great. Definitely like this video, subscribe, and share the platform content with your friends and family. Definitely want to build this out. Again, this has been the daily political briefing here on the Q with Q with me, your host, QuentinRJiles. But we are friends and we are family. So you have to call me Q. Until next week, y'all, I love you. Bye. A lot of people watched it, but nobody's watching day to day, all day, unless you're me and just love this stuff. Procedures are okay, but we want to know, where do you stand? And so I think the more that politicians stop trying to be politicians and be people, then that will engage voters. We reject alternative facts, so come on in here and let me educate you on the facts.